Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive JT. So I've been getting some comments. People have been asking me, how is the bumper holding up on the Jeep Gladiator? Now, they're not referring to this bumper, the new bumper, and that might clue you in a little bit. This is a new bumper. That means something must have been wrong with the old bumper. So let's take a look real quick. What this is a Rubicon style or stubby bumper that I bought as a knockoff. It's not the Mopar version. The Mopar version, I'll show you that real quick, is over here on my wife's Jeep Wrangler. This is the one that I would have had on the Gladiator had I bought the Mopar version. And you can see, other than being a little bit dirty, there are no issues with this. There is no rust, no fading paint, nothing crazy on here. It looks absolutely fantastic. So let's take a look at the knockoff. Let me show you that. Now, the knockoff, you can see right over here, it has some rust on it. There's rust there, there's rust there, and there is rust rather in other places. Around the bolts, places like that, not very good. I actually had painted it once. I pulled this middle piece here. That is where water used to sit. And unfortunately, water would get underneath the paint that it came with, the coating, start to bubble up, the paint would chip off, and then rust. That was my biggest concern with it. There are other little minor things like the welds and things like that, but other than that, not a big deal. I would suggest if you go with the knockoff version that you maybe coat it with some sort of bed liner or something like that so that you aren't going to have these problems and have to mess with it later on. Much easier to go ahead and paint it up or coat it before you actually put it on the front of the truck. So to answer that question, how is the bumper holding up? Referring to this, not very well. It's gone. It's actually going to be for sale somewhere with the things pointed out on it so people know what they're getting into. I think, again, as long as you coat it with bed liner or something, it would be pretty good on the front of the Jeep. Now, how is the existing one, the new one, holding up? This is a Rock Hard bumper, and it's interesting to me. Rock Hard used to put an emblem on here. Now they don't have that anymore. It's gone, and it just has RH for Rock Hard. Hopefully you guys can see that in the front of the bumper. Rock Hard 4x4. It is awesome, and you can just tell looking at the finish for the paint on here. This, as compared to that, so much better. I mean, it is awesome. Now, assembly, there really is none. Assembly on this one, there is a little bit. You have to put the bar on across the top and the edges on. It does come with the little ends if you want to have those on to make it like a full bumper. Nothing as far as assembly goes here other than putting it on the truck itself. It's all one piece. The bar itself is welded on, not bolted on like that one was. Very simple to do. There are only 8 bolts that hold it on. You unplug the wiring harness, put the fog lights that were in that one. In my case, I had some tinted or blacked out fog lights you can see down there. Go ahead, mount them in, very simple to do, and then, so I guess there is a little bit of assembly as far as that goes, and then just slip it on over the studs, or the holes rather, that are in the Jeep, and then go ahead and bolt it down. A little tight to get to, it can be done. You kind of have to finagle a little bit underneath to reach those bolts or nuts that you're going to tighten down. If you take the front off the grill, which is easy, just a few pop out rivets, pull it off, you'll have more room to reach down in between here. Obviously you can't do it with the grill on, but I chose to do it with the grill on from underneath. The other thing I like about this, it has spots for D-rings in the front. I really like the look of that. I think it's very sharp. On this one, they are integrated into the bumper itself. I think, end up painting mine on the other truck that I had this on. They were green before. They came orange to match actually, they came red. I swapped them out with different ones to get orange on the front of this truck. One other thing I do want to mention, there are holes on the top of this bumper to allow pod lights or any other kind of lighting that you want to put on. Of course, it comes with these little brackets mounted, welded on the top. This has got to be for lights as well, I'm sure. I chose to put mine down below. You could add a light bar or really anything else you want. You could even put some sort of a bracket for the license plate if you didn't want to put it there. However you want to do it. I believe I had to drill holes to put the license plate on down there. The other thing is the hardware. The only knock I have, I guess, against the rock hard bumper is that it doesn't come with black bolts. I don't know why, since obviously the bumper itself is black, everything is black, why they send chrome or silver colored screws. These should be black in my opinion. I'm sure down the road I'll end up painting them. If I was more patient, I would have painted them before I ever mounted the bumper itself, but nonetheless, I went ahead and put them in. Now, one other bumper I want to mention, we'll take a look at it real quick since we're out here. I mean, if you're going to change the front, why not consider changing the rear as well? You can see I've got another one back here. This one has, again, the same type of integrated spots for D-rings. And then it also has lights that come in the back. I really like that. I think that's kind of cool. I love the look of it. I think, although the finish is a little bit different than the front, if you take a look at the finish here and notice, I do see a little bit of rust right there where the metals meet. That's not good. Don't have that in the front. But looking at the finish on it, it is a little bit different. Kind of matches the side steps. Those are another area where rust is prone. Maybe you're just going to have rust no matter what. I guess it'll be interesting to see over time if we actually end up with any rust on the rock hard bumper. I don't think so. I think if I was going to, I would have started to see signs of that already, and I'm seeing absolutely nothing. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of answer that question. I've been getting it more frequently. How is the knockoff bumper doing? Not well, obviously. It's no longer on the truck, so I would not recommend it unless you're going to go ahead and paint it yourself with, as I mentioned, some sort of bed liner or something to really seal it up. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've got that knockoff bumper or maybe even the Mopar version. Have you had any rust problems with it? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.